Hello and welcome to this week's webinar. My name is Nathan Batcher and I'll be your host for today. So before we begin, I'm just going to read through a brief disclaimer. Please feel free to read along as well. Beyond Trader LLC is strictly a research publishing firm. The information we publish is based on our opinions plus our quantitative model, statistical and financial data and independent research. This service is not registered with any financial regulatory agency such as the SEC or any other organization or governmental body. By using our platform or our services, you acknowledge that we do not provide personalized recommendation or advice. Alternative asset classes are volatile investments and carry significant risk. Please do your own research before making any financial decisions. Okay, so let's get straight to it. This week I'll be looking at our key indicators, and I'm probably going to put a bit of focus on Vanguard, Atlas, and also I think the long versus short ratio that we have is definitely worth a look at. So let's get straight to it and look at our flagship indicators. So let's get to Vanguard for Bitcoin at the moment. And we can see that this week we closed the week in blue, which means that really on a weekly basis, we should still be having a bullish inclination and we should be preparing to buy any dips in the market. And if you would have done that strategy and if you would have moved down to the dip towards 115, then I think we would have fared quite well. It looks like on our 2.0 model on TradingView, which tracks the real-time closes, it looks like we're going to close with another blue candle. So moving into next week, things aren't too bad. And it's very important that we get above the 120 level, in my opinion. If we have a look at our Biyond Atlas indicator, and things are a little bit more complicated. So if we have a look at Biyond Atlas, it's been tracking higher for the last couple of days. Now, if you don't know much about Biyond Atlas, I'll just quickly tell you, Biyond Atlas is an inverse indicator. So ideally, if we are bullish, then we want to see Atlas moving lower, and we want to see the price moving higher, obviously. So the most positive outcome is for Atlas to move inside the green zone because that's the strong buy region, or at least we want to see some downward momentum in price. So if we have a look at this week, we've seen that Atlas has been moving higher. Now, Atlas is fantastically accurate because if you are, or if you have been tracking it, it obviously meant that Bitcoin wasn't ready to move higher this week. And with Vanguard, if you align the two, it means you should be preparing to buy. So there was a strong possibility that we were going to see some type of price dip this week. And the move towards 115 was obviously the confirmation from there, the bounce zone. And all the while we're above 115, it does strongly suggest that Bitcoin is still a buy. So moving into next week, we do want to see Atlas moving potentially lower again if Bitcoin is going to pick up the uptrend. Now, something I also want to mention here when we look at Biyond Atlas is divergence. And I guess I'm getting a little bit worried that we could start to see some divergence in price action, which may lead to some type of temporary price crash. So if we have a look at 2021 as an example here, so we can see Biyond Atlas, after moving strongly into the green zone after Bitcoin broke out above 20,000, all of a sudden, after reaching a peak of around about $30,000+, maybe that was even 38, something like that, Atlas did something strange. It stopped declining and it started to diverge with the price. So Atlas started to move higher and the price started to move higher. So what does that mean? That means a strong bearish price divergence, and we got a price crash because of that divergence in place. So I'm just wondering if Bitcoin does start to move higher this week and Atlas also starts to move higher, we could see some strong price divergence coming in, and we could simply reverse any move that we see higher in the next couple of weeks. That's a scenario that I'm looking at. It doesn't mean that it has to happen, but I just want to make you aware that's something that we are also looking at. If we have a look at the long versus short ratio, is equally as interesting. So for the longest time, this is tracking the global Binance accounts, by the way. We've seen the longest short squeeze in play, which means that traders are in the majority short, hence why we have seen price moving higher, because typically retail traders are going to lean against the prevailing trend in the market, and they have poor market timing. So when we see a global short squeeze going on there, In other words, these traders are getting hit hard. So this week we briefly moved out of that, but we've moved back in again. So this week is very, very important if we are going to move higher, that we start to see traders trying to short the market again, and that will be a very good indication that price is going to go higher. So these are the things that we're looking at moving into next week, and Atlas will be very telling. And I should imagine as well, if we have a look at something like Biyond Vanguard, it would take a move above the 123 level in order for it to give a green buy signal again. So there's lots of moving parts in play. Again, we've been tracking our own indicators for a long time, so we know how to play them, but this is the basis of what we're looking at. Unless we see Atlas starting to turn lower and Vanguard turning green again, it doesn't hint to me that we're going to see a trend that's going to last for a while, and the true move maybe comes later this year. Hence, any move towards 130, 140 may soon fade out. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it this week. It's going to be an interesting time for Bitcoin, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.